Welcome into the DNVR Nuggets Weekly Breakdown presented by Denver Rubber Company. Operating since 1972, Denver Rubber Company provides the highest quality products with a fast turnaround while offering innovative solutions to serve a diverse line of industries. And guess what? That includes the snow. DRC will be your go-to when it comes to anything with snow plows as they cut to size and pre-slot most snow plow rubber. If you need a reliable local partner for long-term projects, go to drcfirst.com/DNVR today. I'm Allie Monroy, and with me today is DNVR Nuggets beat writer Harrison Wind. The Nuggets are 7-3. They had a disappointing loss against the Atlanta Hawks on Tuesday night. What do you think of their performance?
Man, it was a Trae Young show.
It really was.
That was one of the greatest performances I've seen in person, probably up there with some of those Russell Westbrook games from years past.
40 points or 41.
42.
Wow.
He was unbelievable. That's what Mike Malone said after the game. It was the Trae Young show. And, Denver's defense was not good, but I think more of it was one of those games for Trae Young. And, the Nuggets didn't do enough to stop him, but he was just in one of those special zones. I mean, pulling up like Steph Curry from 35 feet.
That was crazy.
There's not a ton of defensive schemes that you can deploy to really contain him. So it was a special performance for sure, but a bad loss for Denver. Atlanta is not a good team. The Nuggets offense, it's been bad this season. It was better, but, defensively, they just didn't do enough. They didn't have the effort necessary to beat Atlanta.
And then offensively, in the final few minutes of the game, again, just couldn't make those baskets.
Yeah, I mean, missing open shots, it's been a story all year. The Nuggets have not been a good shooting team just when it comes to wide open three-pointers. And, it's weird because on paper, they should be a really good shooting team. Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, Will Barton's had a good year from three. The big one that jumps out is Nikola Jokic. Teams are just leaving him wide open from the three-point line right now and totally sinking down into the paint. They're daring him to shoot the three, and he's just not hitting this year.
Well, besides that frustrating loss, the Nuggets had won 4 straight games against teams that are some of the best in the league right now, like the Sixers, like the Timberwolves, and the Heat.
Yeah, I mean, they were all really good wins, and we've talked about this all season, but I think Denver's played on average C+ or B- basketball, but they've still got a pretty decent resume. Wins over the Sixers, like you said, the Heat, 2 teams that have been among the best in the East so far. And so, I mean, they're in a good spot. They have not played their best basketball, or even close to their best basketball yet, but they have banked some wins. And that's a little bit of what the regular season is about, just getting wins, getting in the right playoff positioning, and then really just finding your groove down the stretch.
These last 2 games, we have had a chance to see a little bit of MPJ, not garbage time minutes. Do you expect that to continue, or was it because Malik Beasley was out?
I think part of it this last game, and even going back to the Minnesota game, had to do with Beasley being out. But this Nuggets bench right now is not performing how it needs to be, and I would expect some significant changes to it, and just in terms of the lineup combinations that are out there, and I think that could lead to some more real minutes for Porter. So, he's had he's been up and down, I think, in his few couple real significant minute stints, but I wouldn't be surprised if he plays a little bit more here, just regular rotation minutes, as the Nuggets try to find some sense of cohesion and something that works with that bench.
Well, the Nuggets welcome the Brooklyn Nets to the Pepsi Center on Thursday. What are a few things you'll be watching for in that game?
I'm going to predict a big Jamal Murray night off the bat.
Okay.
Because the last time he went up against Kyrie Irving, he dropped 48 on him against the Celtics. Irving, obviously, with the Nets now. But this is the game Denver should win. I think Kyrie might even be a little banged up, so his status might be in doubt. But this is the game Nuggets should win. And, I feel like the defensive effort against Atlanta was a bit of an outlier. I feel like that's one we'll look back on and say, all right, they've been a pretty solid defensive team so far. They might fall off from the 4th-ranked defense in the league, but they're not as bad as they were against Atlanta. I think they get back to that against Brooklyn.
Well, be sure to catch all of our post-game content on thednvr.com. For Harrison Wind, I'm Allie Monroy, DNVR.